Ta-da, ta-da! Hey everybody, Howard Jacobson here with Mergoddess. Sarah, how are you doing?
Woo, great. This is like my entrance. I have to like have some kind of entrance, right?
Well, you should do the what's the worm, right?
Yeah, the
The mermaid.
worm, the mermaid, the waves. Or you can
So
go like this, right? Like do
yeah,
some
okay.
octopus arms.
Stay where you just were, because now you're in the middle of the screen. Good.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Nice. That way
Cool.
we can see the and now a little lower, or make
You
it
can
higher.
see my arms. There we go.
There we go.
Boom.
All right. So, welcome everybody. This is our weekly Tuesday Facebook Live, YouTube Live, everywhere else. I don't know where we go. I'm paying $50 a month for some restreaming thing that's supposed to send it everywhere, but I don't know if it's working yet. But they're definitely taking $50 a month though, so something's working.
Something's working.
So what's new? What have you been working on?
So, I have been working on being a deliberate creator. So basically last week, I was talking about my fall and how I let go of fear. And I've also been really reinforcing being in the present moment. And so with being in the present moment, it's allowed me to really like notice what I'm thinking about and change it and see like what is it that I'm thinking about and what am I creating with that.
Ooh.
So that, yeah.
Do you have an example?
Okay, so basically each morning I've been setting my intention for the day. So basically I start with a sentence of I am so that I am already basically doing what I want to do. So like today was I am finding joy in every moment because a lot of my journey, like, I mean, there's a lot of it that I can't see yet. And so if I focus on what I don't have or what's not there, I'm going to create more of that. And so I've really been focusing on where my thoughts are, and looking at the more of the spiritual side of myself, like the being that I am versus the human Sarah. Because the human Sarah has been through all these conditions, all these things people said, all these things that I've said about myself. And so if I keep using those patterns, then I keep creating things that maybe I don't want in my life. And so what happens if I'm a deliberate creator and I really start focusing and paying attention and seeing how that goes? So like, for example, like last week, I have been imagining that like every time I ride the bus, like it's like a limousine for me, and I have my own personal driver, and it's not like the bus that everybody takes, right? And so
Uh-huh.
literally Wednesday, I got to experience that. Nobody went on the bus. Like I literally had a whole 15-minute drive like to myself, and it was amazing. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like this is great." Like what else can I create when I'm really like focused on the joy parts? Like not saying that everything's gonna feel like joy, right? There's gonna be times when I don't want to do something and I really have to dig deep and, try and find that. But the more that I do it, it becomes a pattern and it becomes a habit. And then it will that's more of the thoughts that I can start creating versus the ones that I don't want.
Hmm. Yeah, so a couple of thoughts there. One is there's almost no situation that, no matter how bad, that we can't make worse by resisting.
Mhm.
So if your daily imperative today, your prime directive is I find joy in everything, and you find yourself in a traffic jam or you get an unexpected bill or something, like the real pain from that comes from like tensing up against it, as opposed to well, if
Exactly.
I'm going to try to find joy in this, I might not find joy in it, but I can be present for it. And there's a release. It's of, like whatever it is, it's not like, a rusty chainsaw against my neck. It gets it's better than that. Like I don't know if I'd be able to like release into that if the time came, like um remember, reading that the purpose of life is so that you're ready for your death. Like you can just sort of accept it. Like I don't know if I'm there yet. So I assume I have a few more, years or decades of learning to go. But we can certainly choose an orientation that isn't like wishing the thing away. Like this shouldn't have happened.
Exactly. Like, I mean, even for me, like a couple triggers that have come up is money and, unworthiness. And so, basically it's like if I think of my journey and I think about right now, well, I'm like, oh, where is this money going to come from? But if I focus on what's not there, I can't get excited and allow the creation of what is happening because I've been doing a lot of studying on the universal law and basically whatever we think about, we get it back in return, whether it's in the physical form, whether it's a thought, whatever that is. And so I've been experiencing that. And so I'm like, okay, so that's why I have been really setting my intentions for the day, because it's like, I get this day, like I get to have this day. And so what am I going to do with it? Like me thinking about the future or me thinking about what I haven't done isn't helping me for today.
The other thing that's coming up for me is what this orientation can really do. And it's not just like, okay, this morning I'm going to pick a card and it says find joy and I'm going to do that once, but this continual practice, the water dripping, creating a groove in our consciousness, in our mindset. Tomorrow I'm interviewing Stephen Porges, who created the polyvagal theory, which we studied in coach training. This idea that the human quest for safety is the most important thing at any given moment. And so I was reading his one of his books, and I have a couple of notes that I took here. It says, when we're safe, magical things occur. And so feeling unsafe or feeling like when we're on the defensive, and we're on the defensive when we feel unsafe, like the world is throwing things at us. Oh my God, I got money worries. Oh my God, I missed the bus. Oh my God, whatever it is. And we interpret that as an attack. All that energy, like that's the primary thing. That's like the army, the police force, the Marines, like, when we talk about like our national budget, we never say, we're like, well, we've got to fund the military, and then if we have enough money for education, we'll pay teachers, right? Like defense is primary. And so if we feel defensive, if we interpret the world in a way that's like things are attacking us, then we don't have the energy. We are not spending our metabolism on healing, on growth, on immune function, on all of the things that we want to grow, because we're wasting it. And it really is a waste to have your body become physiologically involved in a bill. Right?
Yeah, totally.
Like if the bill was something you could beat up, like if you actually could like take a couple of rocks and smash, and then the bill would go away and you wouldn't have to pay it, then that would be useful. But there's nothing your body's going to do to be useful against that bill. So to respond to it as if it's a threat just robs us of the energy that we need to move forward in life.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, even for myself, like surrendering and just kind of going in with like, I don't know how this is going to go, but I know that the more that I focus on what I want, like I will create that. Like if there's a bill that I'm supposed to pay, like then I'm going to pay it, like no problem, and knowing that and building that confidence in myself, like actually knowing like, okay, like, if I'm supposed to make the Team USA, I'm going to make it. Like, no need to worry about it now. Why not focus on, like, because worrying about things that we can't control, then, like, we miss all these really beautiful moments in the present moment.
Right. And the opportunities and the ways out. Like very often when I am faced with something, I think I can feel trapped. And my archetype is I'm carrying all this stuff on my shoulders. And my wife is really good at helping me like put it down. To say like, to do these exercises with me, like give it to the universe. And she actually, I feel silly as shit. Like she has like, hold the burden in your hands. Okay, I'm doing it. Okay, now give it to the universe. Okay, and now say, I give this burden to the, I give this burden, no, say it like you mean it. I give this burden to the universe. Now hold your hands up, right? Open hands and say, universe, I give you this burden. Take it from me, please. And like, I feel a shift. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, if I were dead, like this situation would just resolve itself. Like I'm the one perpetuating it.
Totally. I mean, like we're essentially, if we're the ones creating our reality and we're not getting what we want, well, then we're the reason we're not getting it. We're creating resistance in our body so that it can't flow how it should flow, because essentially you giving it to the universe is surrendering and then allowing it to unfold how it will unfold for you.
So let's relate this. I want to go in a few minutes. I've got a bunch of things
Cool.
that I want to get done. I was going to say that I have to get done today. That I want to get done
No.
today. See my shirt from.
Scheduling hero. I saw that. I was wondering, I'm like, you need a superhero name, or maybe you want a superhero name.
Yeah, well, it won't be this.
Okay. Scheduling hero.
I like it, but it's not fundamental enough to my being to be a scheduling. No, I found a typo on their website, and I told them about it, and they sent me swag. So.
Nice. Free swag.
Yeah, it's one of the few times being an editor has actually gotten me something other than dirty looks. But let's relate this to like eating or training. A sick to fit journey. Mm-hmm. So how does this idea of like approaching every moment mindfully, like how has that helped you? Especially in the early days when you were working on sort of shifting behavior, how does this help and other ways, not?
I'll say it helps because it like by releasing that and allowing more energy in your body, like you have more energy to do the things you want to do. So like for instance, so like the past couple months, I've been like really just in my own zone. I haven't really done community workouts. I've just been like in my home. So I've gotten to sleep in. I've gotten to like, just like do the workout in the home, right? Well, that can create a habit that now if I want to wake up at 4 a.m., maybe now I'm not going to want to because of this particular habit. But by creating my intention, now I'm excited about like what I want to do for the day. And so like, for instance, today, right? So like my alarm went off at 4 a.m. It says gold medals going to the Olympics, right? So I look at it and I'm like, ooh, gold medals going to the Olympics. Okay. So like I wake right up, I get so excited. And I go to the gym. I do an hour on the machines, which, mind you, I'm a mermaid, so I don't really like machines. But I got so excited by getting to do it because I set my intention before I did it that made it easy. So then I came home. I was so excited.
Wait. So you're on. Let's say you're on the machine. It's minute 35 of a thing you don't really like to do. What's your mind doing at minute 35? Like let's say you're doing some sort of arm press or
Okay, so I was doing cardio machine. So basically like elliptical, Stairmaster. So I did the Stairmaster for 30 minutes. Now, I don't like the Stairmaster, mind you. I feel like I'm going to trip up the stairs, every time I'm using it. So today would be like a perfect example, right? Where I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is really tough. But what I did was I set intervals on it. So it would say like, what basically I would go fast at maybe every other couple minutes, and then maybe I would slow the pace down. And then I also chose a playlist that was going to keep me motivated. And then just like by my mindset, like just being so focused from the morning. Like, I didn't have any thoughts of like, when is this over? Like, I actually was excited the whole entire time, which usually wouldn't happen because maybe I set the intention of I have to go do this thing, which I got to do it. You know,
Hmm.
I chose that by saying, like, I'm going to find joy in this and I'm going to go do it. Now, the other thing that I did was one of my friends is like a cardio master. Like, she doesn't use any music. She's like super fit. Like, she doesn't even train for anything. She literally trains to eat. So I even messaged her last night and I was like, hey, like, what is your workout? Like, I want to join you. Now, we don't have to do the same thing, but by me messaging her and saying, hey, I want to join you for this cardio, then like that already too motivated me. Like, oh my gosh, like this person that's like super fit, like I want to, and she's not even training for anything, you know? So it like motivated me, like, okay, like I'm training for the Olympics and
Yeah.
she's a beast on this like Stairmaster, you know? I was like, okay, like I want to work up to that, you know? So I didn't set it like I have to be like her, right? But it's like, oh, I'm going to do this new thing that maybe I don't like doing, but maybe now that I tried it, I may want to do it more.
Right. And yeah, it's so, and it's a different topic, but the idea of like how we can use other people competitively in a really positive way. Like I was running this morning and I saw this guy I'd never seen before, this older guy, Dave. And like I think I scared him because like he was coming towards me and I was going up the hill and I was like a human running and I was like, hey, can I run with you? Do you like, and he didn't have headphones in or anything, so I like do you like to run alone or could I run with you? And it's like, I usually run alone, but I guess that's okay. So we ran together for 2 miles, and all of a sudden I realized that this old guy is going at like an 8:15 pace up the hill, which is kind of like my race pace at this point. And I'm like, well, fuck if I'm gonna like complain. I asked this guy if I could run with him. He's clear, he's probably 10, 15 years older than me. And he like, so you're training? He says, no, I don't train. I just, I don't wear a watch. I just run. I'm like, okay, I'm going to suck this up. But if you look at my Strava today, like mile 3 was awesome.
And you were able to push, and you didn't even think about that because your thought was, oh my gosh, like I just asked this guy if I can work out with him. I don't want to seem like this, like, kind of like, oh, well, this guy just like happened to go in, and you wanted to not only impress him, but you also wanted to impress yourself because you ask for it, right?
Yeah, now I have a goal, a challenge, and it's not that it becomes less hard, right? It's not that your Stairmaster becomes less hard. Uh, but I think like what was coming to me when you were talking about it was like maybe the way people should begin is like you're sort of a mental ninja now in terms of waking up, gold medal, getting excited. Like I don't think everyone is there or should feel like they need to be there. Like they can control their mind to that extent any more than I can watch. Itzhak Perlman play the violin and go, well, I should be able to do it like that. Like you've practiced. Right, you've put in a lot of time. So I don't want people to think like, oh, I can just snap my fingers, make a decision, be like Sarah, and love everything that I hate. But I think people can do it for a certain amount of time. So if someone is like, okay, I'm going to go for my unpleasant walk today, or I'm going to do the spin class that I don't really like set yourself a time. Like how long can I be excited about it? Like maybe I'm going to do Stairmaster for 10 minutes and bring in enough excitement to last 10 minutes and then I can quit. And then build up and then the next week try for 11. And at the end of the year you're doing an hour, even if you just increase a minute a week.
Exactly. Yeah. And just by having those smaller, steps, and also like I like the idea of community and having that person, because even like there's days like maybe like on Saturday where like I really didn't want to do my workout. I was in like this negative spiral, right? But like Captain America's like, it's all good, and like sometimes we just need that another person to just like be there for you to do the Stairmaster, or just for you to message them and say, hey, like, keep me accountable on this run. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to do anything, right? Just by you like saying it to somebody like helps you out. Because like I also feel like sometimes community can hurt you too, right? If you like rely too much on community and then like, oh, well, I don't need to do anything because now I can just go to this workout and do it there and I am not accountable. Or, but like, because like that's like, I'm only speaking to this because of myself, because I found like when I was doing like a ton of yoga, it's like, I just wanted to hang out with everyone. I just wanted to do yoga. And now I was distracted from my own goals. And so I had to like reshift and like be away from everyone, to figure out like, what does Sarah want and what is best for Sarah, and how am I going to get better, because it's not going to be the community that's doing anything for me. It's me. Like, if I want this, it's going to be created by me. And so how can I do that? And so then that's how all of this has been playing in, because it's just like, okay, like what else can I do? Like what happens when I write these things down? I get excited about it. And there's going to be negative times, but it doesn't mean that those negative times don't have a part in this. Like, it allows me to release things that don't serve me anymore, and then I can get back on the wagon, your bandwagon, right? Like the getting off, like falling off, but like not staying off, right? And like being able to get back on and move from there.
Yeah, well, sometimes you want to get off.
Yeah,
Right?
totally. Like, I wanted to totally get off on Saturday. I'm just like, because there's just a lot of information. I'm in, like, my coach is telling me things, like, I've been doing things wrong. I'm literally having to learn, like, a whole new stroke, right? And then, not only am I learning a whole new stroke, I now have to perfect this new stroke and qualify to make Team USA, right? In just a couple months. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if I look at all this information, it's like a whole lot going on. And like, I literally broke down on Saturday, like just crying, just like allowing these things to like get out, because it's just like, okay, like what is this, right? Like, am I ready for the next step? Is the breakdown preparing me for the next step, And it was like, it literally was, because physically, I feel stronger. Mentally, I feel stronger. And there's going to be other times, and I'm going to be able to get back and do it again, But there's so many different times that, like, I've just been like, you know what? Like, I want to give up right now. This, like, eating on the couch and eating French fries sounds really good, But not a good idea.
Yeah, and just, for people to understand that to be joyful, to find joy in every moment, doesn't mean you can't be sad, miserable, frustrated, hopeless. Like, the way we talk about joy in a very superficial way, you feel, well, joy is like happy. But, in Sick to Fit, we quote this philosopher, Brian Masumi, says, joy is the experience of growth. So, like, sometimes, you're crying and you're miserable, but you can feel like, yeah, this is growing me somehow. These tears are watering something that needs to grow.
Exactly. And just like reminding yourself, from like other people reminding you, they're seeing your transformation, they're experiencing it. It's like, no, like there's more to go, like just because I've lost X amount of weight or I've achieved this amount doesn't mean that my journey is done. It's never done. Like, there's always going to be a new goal. There's always going to be something I'm striving for. And there's always going to be contrast, because if we don't have contrast, how can we grow? Because if literally, like, I was handed the Olympics on a silver platter, would I, like, literally be this happy about it? Probably not, because I didn't get to experience, like, all the different struggles and all the different things. Like, even like by taking the bus, like, I'm around people that are not healthy, that are not fit, and I'm constantly around people that just toss trash like it's, just forget the world, you know? And like these are like beings that I'm around, but like I look at every single person as myself, and I just look at myself like, how can I do better? Because even if I can't change them, I can at least do better in myself and be the example, you know? And so that's where it leads.
All right. Well, I think that's a great place to close for today. Just let us know you've got a blog. You've been pretty active on it lately. Let us know the page, and maybe I'll write it in the comments later so that people can follow your exploits on a regular basis.
It's mergoddess.wordpress.com. And so basically I share all these fun insights about what I'm learning through my writing. And then also Mergoddess11 on Facebook and Instagram. And you can follow me on Sarah Bowfinger as well. I try to keep everyone updated when I'm feeling good and not, right? Because it's all the same, right?
Yeah, you don't pay $8 or $11 or $15 to see the last scene of the movie with the happy ending, right?
No, yeah, you got to see the middle parts in between too. You know, it's just, but it's cool. It motivates me too because you know what? It's all a journey. We're in this together. So,
All right. Well, Sarah Mergoddess, thank you as always for taking the time and for your daily dose of inspiration.
thank you. See you all next week.
Okay. Bye.